Question number 2. I had asked at the previous meeting regarding the RFQs for the architecturals for St. Philip's. Your comment was that they're going to be put on the website.
Yeah,
And I think that we should go beyond the website.
we're going to, because of what you said.
Pardon?
We're going to.
Well, I haven't said it yet.
I took you had said, ask if they're going to be published in the newspaper.
All right.
And we've talked about it, we're going to do both.
Great. And the reason I say that, Jim, is that back in January, when we did the request for proposals, matter of fact, there was one of the councilmen who said these are extraordinary times. When a company like Calvi Electric can outbid a local electrician, it goes to show you how desperate the economy is and to what extent professionals will go in lowering their fees, for business. And I know I've contacted several architectural firms, one of which is a major firm, who said they would be extremely delighted to bid on the project. So I think it's important for the city to get the best for the least amount, for it to go beyond just the website. I think it's imperative that we publish it so that we can get the best for the least. Thank you.
Okay, I'm speaking for myself and the Brigantine Taxpayers Association on 2 issues concerned with public access to public information. Number 1, items on council's agenda are public information. Any member of council is allowed to share such information with the public before its meeting. For the clerk to rebuke a council member for increasing public awareness and knowledgeable public participation by sharing such information with the public is absurd and embarrassing to the administration. Number 2, this concerns the city's legal notices. Federal law mandates the printing of such notices in a legal newspaper. In Brigantine, those newspapers are the Beachcomber News, the Press, and the Philadelphia Inquirer. The purpose of such a requirement, obviously, is to make information available to the public. Until recently, these notices were printed in the local weekly paper, which people consider to be free, even though there's a 25% number up on its front page. However, that practice has ceased as of, I think, 1 or 2 months. These notices now appear in the press. Ever since the city got angry at a news article in the Beachcomber about a council meeting. The relevant point here is not the loss of minor revenue derived from the printing, but the harm done to the public by making it more difficult and costly for people to know what the government's doing. It's a lot more difficult to follow it in the press than it is in the Beachcomber. This action by council gives the impression and appearance of spite, not of professionalism, and of course violates the intent of the law. And I think this is for council to address, and certainly you have supported this, obviously, or it would still not be taking place. And also the first item concerning what council members may share. It's public information. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips.
Can I say something about
Yes, sir.
that? And Councilman Palella, I think you remember, you're the one that asked that we expand. And when you asked, it was at a council meeting, it's on the record, when you asked that we expand our advertisement, I asked Mrs. Sweeney to look into it, and we found out that by advertising in the press was a lot cheaper than advertising in our local papers, and that's the reason we switched, because Councilman Palella asked us to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Barber.
Well, Jim, my comment on that was regarding the RFPs, which you said you were going to put on the local website, and I thought that it would be more prudent and would get more exposure by expanding how you were advertising it.
Matter of fact, if I'm correct, you said it at 2 different council meetings, and we took your advice and we expanded it.
No, I think what Councilman Palella is saying is exactly correct, because I remember that conversation with the RFPs. And it was to expand the scope, the outreach of those notices. Had nothing to do with municipal notices such as ordinances, resolutions, etc. And if you have, you're making the statement that it is cheaper, I think you should prove that. And the
I'm sure that'd
papers
be easy to
do,
do.
Mrs. Sweeney got the prices, so...
That'd be easy to do.
well, the papers do set rates based on different widths and columns, et cetera. So it's not like you're comparing apples and oranges. But it would be interesting to see what the difference in price is. But I think it's more than coincidental that this occurred after the city clerk tried to stifle the beachcomber. Thank you.
We'll disregard that last comment, but thank you for the other comments.
It actually occurred after Mr. Perlow asked us to do it.
Okay.